So Riviere model is actually one of the most talked about new launches around River Valley, Great Wall there. So but here's a real question, is it a smart buy to entering around 3,000 to 3,200 PSF, or is it a difficult exit later? So in this video I will cover the project fundamentals, land bid and break-even, unit mix and layout comparison versus nearby new launches, exit strategy, and the final verdict, like who should buy, who should avoid, and who this development is made for. So let's go! Quick facts first. Riviere model is actually a 99 years leasehold project with 455 units, 2 blocks of 36 stories, and commercial on the first story. Estimated TOP 2030. Site area is about 11,736 square meters, so it's about 126,325 square feet. Provision is around like 70%. Positioning is about city fringe with a river narrative. When we talk about River Green, the key things about this is about the competition. So your resale buyers, okay, is going to compare you against the nearby projects like Riviere, a 99 years lease development, TOP in 2023, Martin Modern 99 years lease also, TOP in 2021. And the others also around like the Orchard Fringe cluster there. So I always say your exit competes with resale, not with other new launches. You should bear that in mind. So let's talk about the land bid and break even. So this is River Valley Green Parcel bid. Tender closed around like February 2025, which is last year. So top bid came in about 8.94%, which is like higher than the second bidder. So the break even numbers below shown that the actual break even is about 2,409 PSF, but if plus a 10% margin, it's around like 2,834 PSF. A 15% margin is about 2,963 PSF, and also a 20% margin is around 3,092 SF. So we consider that like a low 3,000 PSF is actually quite logical lah. But of course we must also check the resale support for our exit strategy later. Let's talk about the unit mix. Okay, the 2-bedroom comprise about 38% of the development, 3-bedroom 46%, and the remaining 4-bedroom is about 15%. So as you can see about this unit mix, right, it's actually more towards family oriented because of the 3-bedroom that forms the bigger chunk in the unit mix compared to the rest. Now let's talk about the layouts, the deep dive into the layouts. It's actually one of the deciding chapters that I feel. So we talk about the layouts, right? If we move to the actual 2-bedroom layouts, are you excited? I'm excited actually. For River Modern, 2-bed plus 1 bath compact 538 square feet. Okay, this is actually a dumbbell layout. Maximum efficiency. I love it. And the space and utilization. So they have storage pantry cabinet space, DB cabinet with shelf, regular living and dining rooms for ease of furniture placement. Master and rooms are spacious enough to fit 2 king and queen size bed. So bathroom also will be accessible from the room or dining area. So very compact, very nice. Okay, you take a stress test like around like, not stress test, you take the price like around $3,200. Okay, slightly higher than what we anticipate. Okay, it's around $3,200. What we can see that this average price of 538 square feet, 2-bed plus 1 bath compact will range about 1.7 million. It's around that quantum. So give you all a rough guide about the price, roughly will be about how much. So all these are estimated pricing. Now moving on to the 2-bed plus 2 bath, 646 square feet, which based on the 3,200, we are looking at $2.067 million. So also same dumbbell layout, very good efficiency, space utilization. We have a dual frontage view to the north and MBS. Wow! Of course, storage and pantry cabinets and DB cabinets with shelf much similar to the compact ones. Very regular living and dining room for furniture placement. Master bedrooms can also fit up to king and queen. Quite good. 646, around $2 million, 2-bed 2 bath. And moving on to the Riviere Modern 2-bed 2 bath premium. This one is about slightly bigger, 678 or 689 square feet. Same, also dumbbell layout. Okay, everything is pretty much very similar. So the view is slightly different. It's actually towards the landscape, facing towards the landscape, or swimming pool, or Kim Seng Park and the Singapore River. The rest is about the same: storage pantry, cabinet, DB, cabinet with shelving, a very regular living. Of course, master and common rooms are spacious enough to fit the king and queen. So we are looking at around like, based on 3,200 F, we are looking at around like 2.169 to 2.204 million, of course. So moving on to the 3-bedroom layouts. Wow, 3-bedroom. I love the 3-bedroom actually. Yeah, why? Because very suitable for small families, and they also take up a lot of big chunk of it, so most of people will actually go for it. So let's talk about the Riviere Modern 3-bed 2 bath compact, 797 square feet. So we have a very efficient 3-bedroom with dual frontage view to the north city, MBS view at the east. Spacious L-shaped kitchen, that opens to the dining. Very regular living and dining rooms for ease of furniture. It is much similar to the 2 bedrooms. Of course, the master and common rooms are also spacious enough for the... Okay, taking 3,000 PSF, we are looking at an average of 2.5 million. 2,550,400. So this gives you a rough guide on a 3-bedroom is already starting from 2.5 onwards really. So moving on to the 3-bed 2-bath compact. 829 square feet, slightly bigger, same dumbbell layout. Dining room has the facing towards the river. The rest is all the same, regular, very regular living dining area. Okay, master bedroom also same, can fit king and queen. So we're looking at the 3,200 SF. So we're looking at that 2.652 million. Moving on to a 3-bed 2-bath flexi, it's an 893 square feet. Also same, it's a 3-bedroom but with the additional flex room. So the dumbbell layout for maximum efficiency and space utilization. And we can see that it's actually a very unique, spacious, open kitchen with connection to the dining room and the flexi room. So the storage and pantry cabinets with DB box is connected. DB cabinets with shelf. Very regular living, everything is about the same as the 2-bedroom compact and 3-bedroom compact. We are looking at this layout. Okay, for 3,200 PSF, and average out we are looking at 2.85 3-bed 2-bath plus flexi 893 square feet. We are really looking at 2.853 million. Okay, moving on to the 3-bed 2-bath premium, which is 904 square feet. Wow, look at the layout. Okay, we have a storage pantry space. Okay, DB cabinet is also quite nice. It's like, actually, it feels like a long haul layout, but really. So it's like spacious kitchen with views towards the internal landscape pool area. So the pool, I think people who love the pool area will also love these premium layouts. So the wide frontage balcony that connects the kitchen and the living area, giving a premium lifestyle option. I really love this. Okay, very spacious and regular living. I can see that the living to room proportion is actually quite good. Okay, spacious enough to put your king and queen in bed. And we are looking at 3,200 PSF. It's about 2.892. Slightly more expensive, like about 30 plus K more expensive than the 3-bedroom plus 2-bath plus flexi. Yeah, slightly more expensive. So it's also an additional option with balloting that you can compare at least your first choice and your second choice. So when it comes to real modern 3-bed 3-bath plus flexi, it's a 1098 square feet. And of course, this time round, the kitchen is enclosed with a connection to a flexi room, which is also flexi room also can be removable. You can use as a study room or storage room, whatever they can convert it to. So this flexi room is about 1.45 meters by 2.25 meters with removable wall, such as the extension to the dining or kitchen area. Dual frontage view to the landscape, swimming pool, Kim Seng Park and Singapore River, and bedroom 2 facing north towards the internal landscape and river green seas. So actually the view is quite nice for the 3-bed 3-bath plus flexi 1098 square feet. Of course, the price also very nice. Why? On the 3,200 PSF, we are looking at $3.484 million for 1098 square feet. 3.484. Yes, you are not listening wrongly. It's correct. We are looking at 3.484. Did I speak wrongly? No, it's actually correct. 3.484 million. Okay, now we move on to our 4-bed 3-bath, super big. Okay, but in CCR, there is a risk for such a huge for 4 bedrooms I would say. Why? I will talk about that later. So we are looking at 1,464 square feet. That's a real modern 4-bed 3-bath compact, 1,464 square feet. And average out on 3,200 plus, we are looking at $4.684 million. That's a very high quantum. You can literally get landed already, literally landed, or the old landed but not yet reconstruct around this pricing. Okay, 4.64 in the outskirts Singapore, north side area, probably still a chance. And last but not least, we have the 4-bed 4-bath premium, 1,830 square feet. Wow, the layout also very nice, very sweet. Okay, a luxurious 4-bedroom. So we talk about the real modern 4-bed 3-bath compact, a 1,464 square feet. Okay, based on the 3,200 PSF, we are looking at 4.684 million. Yes, that price we can get a landed property already, in the north side already, the older ones, not the new ones. Okay, we are looking at the luxurious 4-bedroom with private lift. Woo! Wide 6.5 meters living dining with views towards the landscape pool, Kim Seng Park, and also the Singapore River. Spacious, natural ventilated, and kitchen with 2 meters spacing between the counter. It comes with the sink, gas, and hob, and or the fridge. Yeah, with the under counter, wow, I love the description. Under counter washer and dryer, master and common especially is not a fit. Okay, the rest is about the same because it's big enough. That's what they're trying to say. A walk-in closet to the master bedroom. Yes, those who love walk-in closet. To the ladies, this is perfect. Master bedroom have it. Very spacious. Like I can call it a long haul layout. A very nice long haul layout. So moving on to the 4-bed, 4-bath premium. It's like 300 plus, not 100, actually it's 400 plus square feet bigger. It's about 1,830 square feet. Wow, it's actually so big. That's a huge difference. Okay, let me tell you why. You see, from the layout, you can really see what the dining area, we can put one, how many seater? Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, about 9. A 10 seater round, that shows you how big the dining area is and how big the living area is. It's crazy. Luxurious 4-bedroom with private lift. Wow, love it. Dumbbell layout for maximum efficiency. So this premium really have like comprised of all the, all the good benefits of the layouts. Everything all in one, but of course comprised of the most expensive quantum in this development as well. Everything you like is there. Of course the price is also there. This one developer will never disappoint you. Confirm plus chop. So we have a generous 6.3 meter wide living area. Can play golf already. Not say play golf, a bit exaggerating. Okay, 6.3 meters wide living room, which opens up to the balcony of the same width. 4.9 meter wide dining room that can fit like a 10-seater round table. Right walkway, the rooms with full height windows for natural lightings and views. Dual frontage unit, wow, to the Singapore River and swimming pool at the west. Spacious, natural ventilated kitchen with a 1.55 meter space between the counter and comes with a breakfast corner, sink, gas hob and convection oven, steam oven and fridge. Yeah, with an under counter washer and dryer much similar to the other 4 bedrooms layout. We have the powder room and spacious store. Spacious master bedroom with corner window for maximum view. Room can also easily fit like study table and also dressing table. And of course, last but not least, the ladies' favorite walk-in closet in the master bed. Everything you want, everything you want, everything you like, everything you want to, I don't know what you want to do there, you have it. But the only drawback is the price. Why? Because we are looking at, based on the 3,200 PSF, we are looking at, wow, a $5.8 million range only. Yeah, estimated only. Around 5.8 million. You know what you can do with 5.8 million? Yes, you can really buy a landed semi-D in the outskirts of Singapore, in the north side of Singapore. I mean, I will personally do that with this quantum. I mean, to be honest. And of course, let's move on. What we always say that real model always give a clear ladder, okay? But the winner is often when the square feet is felt and not wasted. That means what we're looking at is actually the how efficiency the layout and whether all the spaces are fully utilized or not to justify whether this pricing, this quantum is worthy or not. So at around 3,200 PSF, the indicated pricing included here is a 2-bedroom, 538 square feet is around like 1.72 million. A 2-bedroom, slightly bigger, 646 square feet, we are looking at 2.07 million. A 3-bedroom 797 square feet, we are looking at 2.55 million. And of course, the 4-bedroom around like 1,464, we are looking at 4.68 million. And of course, the king of all layouts in this development, we are looking at 1,830 square feet, we are looking at 5.8 million around there, estimated. And of course, our table estimation, right, it runs from like 2009 to 3005. So 3,200 is actually like an average, right? We are just using that as a gauge only. It's not a finalized, or even the indicative price. It's just estimation. So it can even run up to 3,400. The developer choose to price it that way. Before we move on, so if you like this style, real numbers, real layout, real statistics, real opinion, hit the subscribe button. Okay, I do this kind of deep dives like around like a few times in a month, new launches. So if you really like and really want to find out more about it, I can break down these best stacks once the official price is out. So you can contact me directly and hit the subscribe button below. So let's move on to the next section. For next section, we are talking about comparison versus the nearby new launches. We are talking about the layout difference. Now we compare Riviere Modern against the nearby new launches, not just the price. Okay, like 2 condos can be both like 2 bedrooms, 650 square feet for example, but one might feels more like home and the other might feels like, you know, like corridor due to the layout. So how do we compare this layout difference and actually predicts the resale demand? Okay, for most people, right, they just like to put the both layout there and like to compare. Oh, this one room bigger, that room is smaller. I like this bigger, I like that smaller. Actually, pretty much subjective. Every layout have their pros and cons. If there's no pros or no cons, then that is not called layout already. So before we move on to all of them, let's talk about the 2 bedrooms layouts differences first. Let's talk about the livability versus the resale, not versus, plus the resale pool. So real modern 2 bedroom, we have the 538, 646, 678, 689 square feet. Okay, let's compare it to the nearby new launches. As we can take a look at the layouts. For first glance, I think a lot of people when they see like these kind of layouts, right, they get overwhelmed by it because they all look like, oh, pretty much similar. There's some is slightly bigger. So instead of telling you like, oh, this is bigger, that is smaller, or this, I will just summarize like what to look out for. So you all will know when you all actually see and compare the layouts. If you all want to compare, you're able to know what to look out for. So for 2 bedrooms, I consolidate these 4 points. The first thing that we need to talk about is actually the bedroom proportion versus the living room proportion, because some of the 2 bedrooms, right, you see, right, have like nicer bedrooms, but tiny living space. I don't know, it's tiny living space. So resale buyers, right, usually feel this. Always want to fill the living spaces, because the moment you come in, right, you will see the living spaces more than. So definitely I want to have like at least the proportion is like balanced or more towards the living area, because you have a like makes the house feel bigger and it can fit like your sofa and dining area. Like you can buy a bigger table, like accommodate more people, all these without actually blocking the walkways. And second, I like to see the kitchen enclosed, open corridor. Of course, my favorite is enclosed, but second, of course, is open. I want corridor. I personally don't really like corridor, because why? A corridor kitchen, right, often like it really kills the storage space and makes the homes feel very narrow. And the open kitchen also sometimes can feel modern, but actually can still be practical lah. But of course, the best is enclosed. That's what I will look out for. But for 2 bedroom enclosed kitchen nowadays, very rare. In fact, I don't really see much at all. Mostly are all like open kitchen really. So the best you can see is actually open kitchen. Pray it's not a corridor one. Number 3, balcony, invisible spaces, or what, planters. Okay, so the same square feet, right, doesn't mean that it's the same like for the internal areas. So one layout might like allocate more towards the balcony, like making the inside smaller and the balcony bigger. But I think many of the resale buyers prefer the internal space to be bigger than the balcony. The balcony is not a priority actually. And number 4, we are talking about the bathroom positioning. It's very important. Bathroom positioning and what you call the privacy flow. So even for like 2 bed, 2 bath, right, there's always one question that buyers will look out for. It's like, does the bedroom, okay, like for clients that come in to view, or not coming to view, or guests that comes to your house, does he need to walk past your bedroom to get to a guest room? If yes, then I feel that the positioning of the toilet are not properly positioned. Also, secondly, from the feng shui perspective, also that one is more personalized. I have to really ask for more advice regarding that. When it comes to privacy, definitely for the guest, toilet must be nearer to the door than inside. So moving on, we talk about the 3 bedroom layout differences. Okay, for the 3 bedroom layout differences, let me move on now. So for the 3 modern, real moderns 3 bedroom layouts, we have the 797, 829, 893, 904, and 1098 square feet. So this is actually the core layout, okay, of the project, because why? It takes up about 46% of the entire development. So here are the 4 layout differences that really matters the most compared to other nearby layouts. So number 1, we always ask ourselves, does the 3rd bedroom a real bedroom or a study room? I mean, this is the number 1 question people ask, but actually don't really like verbally say it lah. But that's what people feel. Like if the bedroom like can only be like a study room or desk room, right, then it's like really too small to consider be a 3rd bedroom, it become like a flexi room sometimes. So whether it's like it fits a proper bed setup or not, that's actually something that we have to look out for sometimes. But most of the time, I think it's okay. The bedroom should be fine. Although it's slightly small, but it should be fine. Number 2, the flex room lah. Whether is it usable or marketing also depends on the layout. Because if the layout is good, of course you can use it as a storage room. You can use it for a lot of type of things, or even study room, bar counter, relax corner, study corner, reading corner, or maybe sometimes you can convert it to a small for like helper's room. Yeah, actually it does help. But if the layout is bad, then you will do the reverse. So it must really depend on the layout. So number 3, let's talk about household shelter placement. Okay, shelter can be useful storage anchor, but it can also create wasted corridor spaces or choke the flow. So it's very important that the placement of the storage is actually good. So depends, also really depends on the layout. You see, sometimes the placement in the center is good, sometimes the placement near the kitchen is good. That one really depends on the layout. So number 4, dining layout. Okay, this layout actually looks fine until you place like the dining table. And then after that, right, you will find out that the dining table, right, blocks the walkway or clears the kitchen, all this, and then you feel that the entire area feels very cramped up. So sometimes like show flats can hide these lah, but the moment like you start to want to buy things that fit your requirement, then you realize that the space is not enough and you can't change it. So it's very important to actually visualize like how big your furniture is, and does it really clog up the entire space when you visit a show flat. And that's the best way to do the visualization. So moving on to the 4-bedroom layout differences. So this time around, 4-bedroom layout for CCR, right, we have a different expectation. We cannot use the normal masses perspective really. We'll use the luxury perspective to see. Why? Because they have private lift. Okay, private lift, and the quantum is also high. So Real Modern's 4-bedroom size, they are 1,464 square feet and 1,830 square feet. Pretty big. So if we compare them, what are the few things we look out for? It's actually pretty simple because 4-bedrooms actually it satisfy a lot of criteria. Except for the prices, of course, definitely on the high side. They have actually, the 3 things that I look out for is actually the clear private bedroom zone. That is like the layout is actually clear bedroom zone, proper entertaining and living dining area. So I always like a more spacious area where you can really customize the area into like different or partition it or anything. You can fully utilize, you can play around with it. And third, does the bedroom is big enough that feel like a suite? It all comes down to spaces. How is the spaces good or not? Is the level good enough to customize or not? So it all really comes down to the spaces for 4-bedroom. And at $4 to $6 million, to be honest, the buyer's pool is actually very niche because you really hit the landed buyer's pool. So landed people can buy, but of course landed people will not choose to buy, they will choose to buy landed. So people that want to buy in this range, right, they actually have pretty much a lot of choice, like down to landed, down to a lot of type of properties because the quota is high already. So that's something that they have to consider whether they want to stay in a 4-bedroom CCR or probably landed near the OCR area. So the layout really must feel premium lah. Everything must align in order to justify this kind of pricing. So the takeaway for the 2-bedroom, right, it's usually like usable internal space plus privacy flow. That's what I always try to emphasize. 3 bedrooms, we're looking at the real 3rd bedroom plus usable flexi room and also the dining area. And of course, number 4 is always the luxury flow. Whether the layout is good enough, whether the space is good enough, and yeah, whether the quantum is very important, whether it's justified at price or not. So of course, now we are going to talk about the exit strategy. But this is actually a very commonly thought about. Everyone say exit strategy. But the thing is, who will buy from you at a later stage, especially in CCR? This quantum is very interesting because this is not OCR or RCR. This is CCR. So you have to really consider what is your exit strategy. Very important, especially if you are looking to exit in the short term. You have to know. You need to know. You must know before you buy. So for 2-bedrooms example, you see for the nearby launches the Riviere, we are looking at 2,900 PSF. Martin Modern, we are looking at 2,700. Irwell Hill, we are looking at 2,900. The Avenir, we are looking at 3,500 for 2-bedrooms. And of course, for 3-bedrooms, we are looking at 2,900 for Riviere. Martin Modern, 2,800. Irwell Hill, 3,000, around 3,086. And of course, the Avenir, 3,500. See, we are all playing around this PSF, 2,900, and then slightly up a bit is around like 2,000, 3,000, 3,005. It's all around this pricing really. So safe to say, it's all around there. But for the exit, it's very important because of the price is very high, and all the pricing is up there. Of course, for new launches, it's slightly on the higher side compared to other resale launches, So the layout you choose, right, is very important. The facing, the layout, the quantum, the right layout is very important. It's not that the most expensive one is better or the biggest one is better. No, you really have to check it out. Which stack is better, which level is better, which one makes sense, which quantum does not make sense. You need to know all this, to maximize your capital appreciation. And also to avoid overpaying for premium. So a lot of times they actually tell you, wow, if you like this layout is like, wow, premium here, premium there, premium, and give you the price of the premium, but actually it doesn't justify that premium. So it's very important for buyers to not buy into that story so much and really to analyze the layout and see what's provided to justify that premium or not. And of course, rentability. To verify, it's very important to do your own research. Not only to just see YouTube videos or to see what agents tell you, you have to do your own research to see like, hey, where is the rental area based on statistics? Does it make sense or not? What's your rental yield annual per year? How much you're getting back? Is it worth it? Especially if you're an investor. So before you enter in this development, really do your own research first before you actually go down there and see the development and decide on whether you want to buy it. Last but not least, the final verdict. Okay, I would say that the pros of this development, right, is they have a very clear positioning, a very strong family mix, and also the break-even support is also logical lah. It's around like 3K pricing. It's on the high side in Singapore, but for CCR pricing is around there. But something to watch out is like the resale competition. Definitely, it always sit at the high 2,700 PSF really to a low 3,000 PSF in that segment lah. So you ask me to buy or to hold who this is made for, I would say that if you're looking to buy, you have to pick the layout that really makes sense, like I said, and whether the premium feels like it's sensible or not. The stack, the facing, everything makes a very big difference when you come to choose. And to avoid or to hold is when you are buying this to flip, because without any value gap or just paying for the free premium run, I don't think it's worth it. So in other words, for the masses that you have a lot of choice, like masses that you all have a lot of new launches you all can consider, right? This CCR for investing might not be the best choice. There's still other better choices out there. But if really you are looking to stay, to start a family there, to stay there, to enjoy the convenience, and also to feel closer to the city area, of course, like I say, with the correct unit, the correct layout, stacks unit, all this will also help you to bring you capital appreciation. But the most importantly is you're going there to stay, not to invest, and that's the priority. Then you can buy. The rest, I think you probably will hold or avoid. I will just definitely hold it first to see what the other alternative on the market before I decide to go into this development. That's my opinion. If this helped, like and subscribe this channel below. I'll keep the data-driven reviews coming. So if you want my unit by unit shortlist, like based on your budget and your holding periods, okay, message me and I will help you identify like the safest entry stack and once the official price list is out. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.